Hello there, blessings and love to all of you. Wishing you the best for the week ahead. So, this video here, what I'm talking about, as you can see by the title, is I received a letter by Jehovah Witnesses, one in particular where I've been very cool with for like 15 years. Where they reveal in a letter that they basically allude to the fact that I am Jehovah's son, right? But before I get into it, I'm just gonna break down my history with Jehovah Witnesses. So they first came to me when I was 14. I remember it was on a Wednesday. It was a day when I was bunking off school, and they knocked at the door, and I opened the door and we're talking, and then they were like, "Oh, if you want to do a Bible study," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." As I say this, and I'm just thinking about it, I'm 14. I was at the house alone because my mum wasn't here because she was at work, obviously, because I was bunking, and they came to the house and they they asked me for permission to do Bible study when I'm 14. Like, when I think about it now, I'm like, that's a bit weird. Like, you should talk to the parent first, then get the parents' permission, and then take it from there. But it's like they tried to skip past my mum, you get me, and just get to me. I'ma get to, I don't know if I got enough space to fit in on this video, but the Jehovah Witnesses, yeah, they are Satanists. Don't trust them. And yeah. But anyway, so yeah, 14. And then every week started to do Bible study. Then I started to go to the meetings for years, really, up until like 21, 22, 23. Never took it any further. I didn't get baptized or anything like that. But my mum, they actually tried to get to her. They actually tried to get to her before I was born, or maybe like just after. But for whatever reason, my mum turned away from them. And then they got to her through me. Because like 3-4 years after I was doing the study, maybe a bit earlier, my mum started to take an interest again, because obviously like she's seeing them here and I'm doing it rare, so then she's looking over rare, and then she started to get into it, and then she ended up passing me and getting baptized and taking it very seriously, which I do feel a way about, knowing them, knowing like now what's going on. Again, I don't know if I'll be able to put the whole information. Probably not, because they'll be way too long, and my phone probably won't have enough memory. But yeah, they like used me to get to her, you know. But yeah, or maybe it was the other way around. But still, for a while, I do feel a bit of a way, and I still do feel a bit of a way that like my mum, she turned away from them, and then through me. But I shouldn't take it on. I shouldn't take it on. Like, it's my guilt. It's not me. It's them scumbags that knew what they were doing. But anyway, so yeah, got to like 21, 22, because I was an athlete as well, and I was in acting. I was juggling it in, and then as the years went on, I just started to phase out. But I was always still cool with them, you know. They'd always like message me, call me to check up on me, you know, seeing, oh, we've got this meeting coming up, you wanna turn up or whatnot. And then my mum passed away when I was 25. About that, there's a possibility, which I'm gonna find out for sure, but there's a possibility that they sacrificed her because they knew who I was, and apparently my mum was gonna tell me, but she was a bit scared. So they tried to cover their back by, well, let's sacrifice her, let's take her out of the way so we don't have to worry about her telling me the truth. Again, that's not for sure yet. That's what I've been getting, and I'm gonna go into where I've been getting it from. But regardless, the year of the dragon is this year, and all the truths is coming out. So if that's what happened, I will be getting the confirmations for sure about that, and there's nothing that them can do to stop it. So yeah, mum passed away 25, and then yeah, up until like now, I'm 31 now. They've just been still messaging, oh, rare, you're right, checking in. And a couple of them I've been very, very cool with, like aunties, like in that sense. So there's a couple of them which I would call up every now and then, check up on them, just let them know about what's going on with me, because I thought that they was cool. So about 2 months ago, I'd say now, it's been 2 months ago, I started to get involved in tarot reading. Because I can't remember why, like, I wanted to get into it, but I just wanted to give it a go. Now, I've heard from before that, it is demonic, be careful, it opens you up, spirits, very, very, very rare. What you have to understand is there's two sides to each coin. So it's not necessarily that something is demonic, it's the person that's doing it, they may be aligned with dark forces. Whereas someone who's good, they're aligned with good forces. So anything can be used for good and for bad. Yeah? Another thing, just quickly, I'm going to go into it. That's why the powers that be, all these spiritual films, they make them out to be demonic, and anything to do with like tarot reading or spirituality or connecting with spirits, they make it out to be demonic because they want us, the masses, to be scared, so we don't use it. But they use it. The powers that be, they use these spiritual things, So yeah, like remote viewing, like tarot readings and all sorts of stuff, spells, black magic, whatever. Like they use all of that. They just don't want us to use it because then we'll gain more power. But anyway, on topic about them. So yeah, I started to get into tarot reading, and for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, I was seeing some of them were saying that I was the descendant of Jesus, and I'm an old soul, which I kind of knew that already. A lot of people across my life have told me, and just by how mature I've been, like I've known that, I've known that I'm old, but yeah, a lot of the tarot readers were saying that like I'm an ancient soul, I'm from royalty, and I'm a descendant of Jesus. Again, like I'm hearing all this, and for the first 2 weeks, my mind is being blown. Like I'm hearing this, I'm sitting in my yard hearing this, I'm hearing some of these things, and it's blowing my mind, like to the point where I have to get up and go outside and just be like, all right, I need some fresh air because this stuff I'm hearing is mad. Like, what talking about? What is it talking about? Like, I'm telling you. So please put yourself in my shoes and think about like you hearing all of this stuff. You be thinking, what the, like mad, I I also did write a 11-page like thing just about my thoughts about what I was learning. Again, I'm gonna read that in another video. But yeah, so as I'm for the 2 weeks I'm there, and I'm like, okay, so like who am I? Like who am I? Rare. Then a couple of the tarot readings were saying that you're gonna find out who you are through a letter or someone coming to your house, innit? So that was in the second week. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna chill out. I'm expecting someone to come to the house, whatever. Yeah. It got to the Friday of the second week of me getting involved in tarot watching it on YouTube. No, and to be honest, it wasn't just tarot, it was oracles as well. So I remember I was sitting down in the living room and something told me to look over by the dining table, and on the table was this letter. Yeah. And this is a letter that was sent by a Jehovah Witness on Friday the 19th of well, it was written on Friday the 19th of January this year. And I remember that I read it, but I don't know, like I just didn't deep it. I must have just skimmed through it or whatever, but I know I read it. And I just put it to the side. Something told me to look at the letter again. So I looked at the letter and this is what it says. Dear Kyle, how are you doing, son? Pardon me. See, they're trying to stop me. They can't stop nothing. I'm gonna start again. Dear Kyle, how are you doing, son? I've been thinking about you. How is the rest of the family? Because she knows about the family, you know, especially with the mum passing. I've been thinking of your mum also, and fond memories come to my mind. I have been reading the Bible, Psalms chapter 139, verses 1 to 4, and I thought of you. It says that Jehovah knows when you sit down and when you rise up. He also knows what you are going to say before you even say it. In other words, Jehovah is keeping a close watch on you. Why? Because he loves you very much. How does it make you feel that Jehovah, the creator of the universe, is keeping a close eye on you out of nearly 8 billion people on the earth? It's like a father keeping a close eye on his son as a protection. No doubt it makes you feel very special. I just wanted to share a comforting thought from the Bible. I hope you like it. Take care of yourself, son. I will call you the next time I'm in the area. Lots of love, Auntie Boom Boom, London Hornsey congregation. Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't feel like saying her name, you know. I don't know why, so I'm just trusting my spirit. But yeah, so that's what it said. So obviously, the bit that stood out was the whole, it's like a father keeping a close eye on his son. So I'm like, no. So, and it, of course, and in this time as well, in the 2 weeks, like, I've not had anyone to speak to. Like, I'm a loner, but I've been protected in that sense. I realize it's been protection. I've always been a loner. I've always been a lone wolf, you know, like not really having much friends. And the so-called friends that I did have, they would betray me. They were fake and all of that. So yeah, like in terms of having people to speak to, literally zero. My family, so-called family as well, like nah, like they are fully separate from me. Yeah. But again, I'm going to get to that in another video because all of that was for a reason. On purpose. So yeah. So I'm like I've had no one to talk to for 2 weeks. Every day, for the 2 weeks, like throughout most of the day, I'm looking at all these tarot and oracle things. And it's mad that all of these channels, all of these videos, they are swear down. Like I was seeing like 3 to 4 different channels, YouTube channels, and damn near every video was aligning with me. And I'm like, why does it sound like every video is speaking to me? Like, what's going on? You get me? You know, so I'm like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who to trust. And also I'm thinking, I don't know who's, because it also said that I'm being surveillanced very heavily. So people are watching me. So I'm like, I don't know who to tell, because aside from the trust thing, I don't want to tell someone and then the people watching, because it said that the government are probably watching this video, they know about me. And they've known about me since 1999. And just a quick thing about that. I remember when I was 6 or 7, which is around that time, I was walking in my area, Tottenham at the time. I was walking and I was going home. And this black car pulled up right. I'm just walking. The black car just pulled up, yeah, opened up the passenger door, and the guy was like, "Get in the car! Get in the fucking car! No!" Like that. Like literally like that. No exaggeration. He did it like that, yeah. And I was terrified, but blessings, I didn't give in, and I just kept on walking. And then he just drove off. And I always, for the rest of my life, like I've always remembered that. I know I've always been like, what the hell? And then, as I say this now, I also think about the fact of why was me, a 7-year-old, out alone? Because I remember my mum wasn't there. Like I had no parents, no siblings that on that time were there. It's like they left me alone on purpose, so this person could get to me. But because I'm protected, it didn't work. You get me? So they've known about me since 1999. Something happened. I don't know what it is. Something activated in me or whatever. But they clocked me from 1999. And I take that as that was a government person who tried to get me to try and stop me growing and me becoming who I am. You get me, you know? Of course, what's written is written and they can't stop it. Especially when I say I'm protected. So, where was I? So I forgot where I was. Apologies, but I'm gonna. So I was thinking, should I call up the person who writ this letter or not? So, and I was like, yeah. So I called her up, yeah, and I was like, right. So I've seen what it says about it's like a father keeping a close eye on his son. What do you mean by that? Like, I know that there's an underlying message. That what do you mean? She straight up comes out and says, "You are Jehovah's son," and that almost made me drop to the floor. I'm telling you, I fully went like I was all like this outside. I was all holding the bin. I was all like I was like, what? Like, what we talk? What? Then it's mad as I even say it right now, and it's been like a month. But and then she tried to show me some Bible verses. She asked me if I had a Bible. I said no, because I felt like I had to throw all of the Bible stuff outside. So I said no. But yes, talking a little bit, and then she asked me, whose world is this? And I said, this is Jesus' world. Now, when I said that, I didn't mean like it's me. I just said like it's the Most High, like this is his world. And she said, no, it's Satan's world. As second she said that, I locked off the phone. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm like, it was instinctive to lock off the phone. Like, I'm not trying to hear, oh, it's the devil. I'm not, because it's not. I'm not aligning with that. It's not. You get me, you know? So I locked off the phone. So, yeah. Since then, I've not spoken to any of them since. Like, oh no, I did. But I'm gonna make another video about this because can I fit it in? You know what? I'm gonna try and fit it in. So I spoke. So after this mad news, I then decided to speak to a very close family friend. Yeah, which I was very cool with for years. She's very close to my brother. She has even sent me clothes because she had a clothing brand. I've got on Instagram. She got me Instagram, and you know, like she does stuff, and I repost stuff like that. So I felt like I could trust her. So that afternoon, because me speaking to the witness, that was like around 12:01. So I decided to call up this family friend. Spoke to her for 4 hours, just letting her know stuff about the letter, stuff about the tarot reading, stuff like that. Now, as I was doing that, yeah, it sounded like at times I was being put on loudspeaker. And I would ask her, and I'd be like, have you put me on loudspeaker? Like, it sounds like I'm on loudspeaker, because you can tell when you're on loud because it will echo. She's like, no, I'm just walking about, I'm walking about. Now, my instinct, my gut feeling was telling me, like, something's up. Something ain't right here, you get me? But I didn't fully listen to it. I did a bit, so I didn't tell her everything, but I still told her the main bits, you know. So anyway, we're talking for 4 hours, talking, and then that was it. And then the following day, because I tried to go to sleep at 3 a.m. on the Saturday, which is the following day, and I remember that I was in bed and I kept hearing knockings, like pressure, like footsteps, and like pressure against the walls and stuff, because that's been happening to me for years, you know. So I know that it's spirits that are around me, but I've never felt scared. Well, it took some adjusting, but like, I'm not scared, you know. I always took it as, and that's what I was getting, a lot of angel numbers that were letting me know that there's angels and guardian angels and ascended masters that are around me. So I took it as confirmations that it's just my spirit team that's letting me know through the footsteps and through pressure on the walls and stuff that they are here. So I'm trying to sleep and that, and they were making a lot of noise, like a lot of pressure. And I was taking it as, all right, well, I'm not meant to sleep. So I got up, and because I'm in the midst of learning all this stuff, and I was fasting as well for 3 days at this time. So I was not grounded. So I was very high up here, but I wasn't tethered to the physical realm. So like, everything seemed weird, you know. So I wasn't centered, I wasn't grounded, I wasn't calm. So I was like, all right, like, if it's happening like this, I have got to leave. So I left, and I was just walking around central London. I was just getting the night train, just walking about and that. And then something told me that, I don't know, like, through all of it, so it told me to go towards my exes who I broke up with recently. And as I got to Victoria Station, and as I was getting on the train, there was this guy who was working there, which I asked him something about the route and that, and then he said, yeah, it's cool. And then as the train was going off, I saw him, and I like waved at him, like big up and that, like blessings and that. Then on one of the signs that they've got, like them posters of adverts or stuff like that, that's posted around trains or buses. Now on one of them, yeah, it was a screen, and it said to me, if only they knew they were saying goodbye to the wrong person. And I'm like, what? And then like, there was other writing that said, we are with you right now. And it was saying my baby mum's name and the exes that I just broke up with name. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I started to get what I'm going to take it as. I started to get demonically possessed, because my muscles started to twitch up, and I was bugging out. I've never experienced anything like this. It's all twitching out, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? What's going on? And that, yeah. The train was damn near empty. There was only like 2 people, maybe 1 on the carriage, because I was at the front. So I'm all there bugging out. I'm like, what the hell's going on? All twitching out and that, all of this, like my feet's all getting caught up and that. I'm like, what the hell's going on that? Yeah. So I then first called up the family friend, and I was like, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm on the train and I feel like I'm getting possessed. Like, what's going on? Rare? Help me, like, because in the midst of all this madness, I went on a video and it said to say that you repent. No, not you repent. That you rebuke in Jesus' name. Rebuke in Yeshua's name demons out. I rebuke. Yeah. So, but I also knew that if more people say it, then it gives it more power, which is why I called up the family friend, because at the time I thought I could trust her. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting possessed. Like, I like need you to say this with me. Say, I rebuke demons out of you. I rebuke and that. Yeah. She pauses. She goes silent, and then you wanna know what she said? She said, I put all afflictions on you in Jesus' name. I hung up the phone instantly. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? All of that, yeah? So from that point, I knew, all right, like, she's a witch. Like, I've been fooled, you know? Then I tried to call up the same witness that sent me this letter. And I was telling her the same thing and that, yeah? Like, oh, like, I feel getting possessed. Like, speak to me, like, oh, it is not too late, very rare. Because as well as this, I don't know why I was getting the feeling that the world was going to end. Because the day before, just after I hanged up the phone, after I spoke with the family friend for 4 hours, I was just thinking about the world and how, like, the powers that be and how cruel and evil they are and what they've done and that. And it was getting me angry, you know. And I remember I said with conviction, I said, enough is enough, yeah. And then the sky turned red. I'm not exaggerating this at all. It's all true, yeah. Crazy as it sounds. The sky turned red, a bit red, like from one part of the sky turned red, and in the clouds, I saw devil faces, like big devil faces, like coming, yeah. And the mad thing is, as they came over me, my throat burned. It felt like my throat was burning. Turns out that they tried to burn my throat. They did some spell to try and burn my throat. Whether that was the demons themselves from up above, or whether that was the witch, the flipping witch, the so-called family friend, yeah, that just after we hanged up, she done that to mess up my throat, mess up my throat chakra. But it's one or the other. Either way, like, my throat is burning, so I couldn't barely talk. And on top of that, because I was fasting as well, so that made it even worse. So yeah, so like that's why, like, as I was going back to the Saturday, it was like, oh, like, you know, the world's gonna end. Like, I was feeling like the world's gonna end. Like, as I was at the station, it's like people are panicking. People are like, oh no, like, it's not good. What's going on? It seemed like people knew the world was gonna end. Like, it was weird, bro. So as I'm deep, like, try to piece up in my shoes, I'm dealing with all of this stuff, and I'm having to, like, try to keep calm, and all of this is mad. And I'm dealing with all these things, demonic possession. I'm calling up people that I feel I can trust. They are wishing afflictions upon me. All of this. So anyway, I call her up and that right after, and she just hangs up the phone. She's like, oh, I can't talk, rare. Hangs up the phone. I then had to run to one of the toilets, and because I remember I got from somewhere that I don't know where I got it from, but I just got the info that a soil spell was done on me, because for that week I was doing a lot of grounding. Every day I was grounding. I was putting my bare feet on the soil. So and it might sound a bit nasty to some of you, but I didn't wash. Yeah, because as well as that, the water here is bad. Yeah, like, I'm in the UK. The water's bad. Like, it dries out your skin. It's got hella chemicals. And with what I was trying to do, I was like, no, I'm not gonna bath or shower or put that on me right now, innit? So I was just grounding, trying to ground and that. Turns out they tried to put some soil spell on me. So I took off my shoes, my socks. I'm there all, like, using, like, a clothes that I took off, and I'm all trying to, like, wash off the flipping soil off of me. All of this, all in the midst of this, I'm all twitching, and in the midst of this, I'm saying in the mirror, I rebuke you demons out of me. I rebuke. Like, then couple like staff members were like walking, and then I decided to like get off because I'm like, listen, I must look crazy to people. I don't want them to try to call police or try to call this one and try to get me locked up or get me put in some mental asylum or something. Because that's what they want. That's what they've been wanting. You get me? So I'm all barefoot, got all my clothes and that. I'm all running off. I'm all still twitching and I'm like, I rebuke. And then as I was going to another train, there were some people that heard me say Jesus, and I heard them say, "Oh, that's Jesus, that's Jesus," and it looked like that they was coming to chase me. So I'm like, I got people chasing me now. So I'm there running, and that. I get on the train, like with my bare foot out on that. Yeah, I'm all still trying to like wash it off and that. I end up getting off at this next stop, and asking the train staff that the station staff that were there for water. Blessings, they gave me some water. I left the station. I went to the local corner shop and I got some fruits and that. And in the midst of this, like I'm spiritually, I'm up here. I'm not tethered, as I said. So everyone looked crazy. Like everyone looked like they knew who I was. Like it looked like everyone, like it's like bare people I knew. Like it's hard to explain because where I was because I wasn't grounded, but it literally was like everyone was a demon, or like everyone was a demon in human form. And it's like everyone knew that I could see them for who they were. So people were looking at me weird. Like people were really looking at me weird and that, yeah. So I went to the shop, I got some fruits. There was a guy that entered, he looked weird and he was looking at me weird. Again, what I took from it as well was he knew I knew who he was and he knew who I was. So again, like the way I was, like I was trying to keep distance. Like I was like not trying to let them touch me and that, you get me? I got the fruits, left and that. There was a couple people which, because it was still happening and that, I approached them, I asked them if they believe in Christ. They said yeah, and I said I just need a favor. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm begging you this favor. Just say with me, I rebuke any demons that's in you. I rebuke them out of you in Christ's name. And a couple of them did it with me. Boom, 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 boom. And then I was going to a local park because at this time I felt like I couldn't go back home because after speaking to the Jehovah Witness and speaking to this flipping witch, yeah, I was like, they're probably at the house waiting for me, so I can't go back home. I can't go home. So I didn't go to this park, and every time I touched the soil, I felt the flipping tightness, like I felt like the possession was trying to take hold, and so I would go off of the grass, and the crows and birds were following me, laughing, all of this. Like I was seeing witch stuff, like on the pavement. So I seen fucking satanic symbols up on walls. Like everywhere I was looking, I seen satanic. So I was just trying to keep like just tunnel vision. Don't even look, just keep on walking straight. Keep walking straight and that, yeah. And again, it seemed weird because bare people that were going past me in the park or trying to cut, like it seemed like everyone knew and everyone was looking at me and all of this. Like it was mad. It was so mad. It was so mad. In the midst of this, I was also seeing some tarot channels, because as I've already said, the tarot channels told me a lot of stuff that turned out to be true. So I went on there and like there was a couple of them were saying that it's crunch time and that a spiritual war is kicking off, and you've got to do this, rare. So it was just mad. I can't go into it anymore. But it was just crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Eventually, after a few hours of me just walking around the area where like cars, people in the cars would be proper looking at me, like people would be walking and like trying to follow me, and I'd be testing it because I'd be walking and someone's there, and I'd stop and try to go that way, and then they'd stop and try and follow me, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, are they gonna come for me? Like, are they trying to come close to me? Rare, rare, rare. Like, as I said, I was so up there, it was mad. Eventually, I ended up deciding through watching one of the tarot videos, which again, my phone was on like 5%. I had to go to a cafe to try to charge it a bit. And then I ended up making my way back because one of the tarot channels said that the time for doing something that I was trying to do had passed. I took too long, so I had to go back home. It said go. You need to go back home, and you need to. I can't remember what you're saying, but it's essentially saying you need to go back home. So when I got back home, as I was getting back home and I was getting to my area, Hornsey, yeah, I got to the train station, yeah, and this guy who, anyway, yeah, I got to the station, and this guy that I know that lives near the station, I just saw him just on some random thing, and he said, bro, like, you need to sleep. He said to me, what is happening is you have awakened spiritually. You've gone through a spiritual awakening, and you're up here, and you're not really tethered to the physical. So he said, I'm just giving you some advice. You need to just sleep. That's the best thing you can do right now. Go home and just sleep. Know you're safe, you're protected. Go home and sleep. I was like, bro, thank you so much. Like, bro, you're a legend. Like, all of that, like, I bowed to him, like, all this, because, like, as crazy as all this sounds, again, think about how this must sound for me being in this. Crazy, bro. Like, madness. So, I get back home, in the midst of this, because I did have the letter with me. No, did I have the letter with me? No, I didn't have the letter with me. I left this. But I was going to people. I was going to all of that, the local shops, saying, "Oh, like, like, this might sound crazy, but apparently I am Yeshua and all of this. Rare, rare. Here is my Instagram, because, and I'm gonna touch on this in another video, but I've always been a extremely loving person. Always. Like, I've always just wanted to help people. I've always spreaded love and kindness and empathy and strength and realness. And I've made a lot of videos across the last few years just talking about real stuff, talking about, we have to show love to each other, look out for the homeless people, like, just healing ourselves, facing our pain and healing from it, because that's how we become stronger. Just talking just real stuff to just help people, long before all of this stuff, long before this, like, even from when I was a child, I was always, like, so loving, and I always thought, like, why was I so loving, like, so, but again, like, the video's getting a bit long and that, so I want to touch on some other topics in other videos, you get me? But yeah, so this is the letter right there. You lot can see it, yeah. Don't know how it's gonna come out in that, but yeah, this is all real. Like, the letter's literally what it says, the letter says it right here, Now, I don't know whether they try to send me this as an agenda and that it's not true or something. I don't know, innit, In my heart of hearts, I feel like there's truth to it. But yeah, so mad thing, really insane stuff. But yeah, blessings and love. I just felt like I had to put this truth out there. As crazy as it sounds, people think I'm crazy, whatever. The main thing is I spoke my truth. I was getting signs that I had to speak my truth. That my throat chakra was a bit blocked because I wasn't expressing myself, and I knew what it was. I knew it was about make a video about this stuff. And if people think you're crazy, if people don't believe you, they don't believe you, innit? It's calm, you know. It's not about them. It's about you getting this out there, you know. You expressing yourself. So I've done it. Blessings and love to all of you. Spoke nothing but the truth right here. Nothing. So yeah, much love. Peace.